known as the greatest spectacle in racing. The open-wheel auto race known as the Indianapolis 500 began here 100 years ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, nicknamed the Brickyard. The idea of staging a race was spawned in the early days of testing automobiles.
After the crowds had started, were pretty good at the beginning of 1910, but towards the end of the year they dropped off, and so the thinking was, well, instead of running 3 days of racing with 24 to 30 short events in a 3-day period, maybe we should run one long race.
By the Brickyard, at one time the entire race surface here at the Speedway was covered entirely by bricks. Now, only this 3-foot strip remains here at the start-finish line.
In 1909, the original surface was crushed rock and tar, which proved to be a disaster, and so in the fall of 1909, 3,200,000 paving bricks went down. The bricks were designed to lay face to face, but they actually they left about a quarter of an inch separation, then put mortar down. And that was the surface. The entire 2.5 miles was bricks and mortar.
3 drivers have won the Indy 500 4 times, including A.J. Foyt, who drove this Offenhauser-powered roadster to victory in 1961. 2 years later, it was Parnelli Jones capturing his only Indy 500 victory in this Offenhauser roadster.
We used to say, back then when the drivers were fat and the tires were skinny, but we ran on pretty narrow tires at that time, and you had to back off at the end of the straightaway. And so it was a matter of driving the car in as deep as you could get it and be able to pick the throttle up as soon as possible.
Since 1936, those who take the checkered flag are awarded the Borg-Warner Trophy, which had a bas-relief sculpture of every winner up to that point and has been added to ever since.
And finally in 1986, it filled up. The last square was filled, so they put a base on it. And then the base also filled up, I think, in 2004. Now it has a new base, and there's enough spaces to last until 2034.
Just whose face is added to the Borg-Warner, we'll find out in Sunday's centennial edition of Racing's Greatest Spectacle. John Klobucar, The Associated Press, Indianapolis.